Welcome to the final edition of the season of Hockey Talk with Lewis and the Dork, and we're here. Well, we're riding a little bit of a crest of a wave as the Bristol Pitbulls have qualified for the Final Four. They're going to Milton Keynes, but Lewis, they did it the hard way. It was a roller coaster ride right from puck drop. Credit to the Invicta Dynamos, but in the end, it's the result that matters, and the Pitbulls are going to the dance.
Yeah, I think we've got to start on Invicta. Really, what a phenomenal performance they've put in a 60-minute shift. Well, two lots of 30-minute shifts really, where they turn up with 7 forwards, 3D. Obviously, Matt Ford dropped back and played on the blue line. What can you say? They win on the night 6-5, and it's a phenomenal performance from every last one of them. Hushka and Ash Jackson stood out for me as their offensive talents, but all of those players on the blue line, Harrison Lillis must have played more ice time than anyone in the league has in a game this season. Phenomenal from him as well, and wish them all the best next season in this division. I know that the hunger that those fans and the players will have to improve on what's been a poor season for them, finishing 6th. I'm sure next year they'll be back up competing in the top 3.
Yeah, and credit to Anthony Leone as well, player coach, playing with a short bench. I did notice him at the end mouthing to a couple of fans, "I'm done." Maybe that's the emotion of the moment, but if he has finished playing or has taken a step back, we wish him all the best. Lewis, fair to say the Pitbulls did it the hard way. Fair to say maybe they got away with one. Now, you can take that one of two ways. That are they playing playoff hockey? Well, they've got to take it up a gear, ready for next weekend. But if you squeak through in that sort of game, maybe you start to feel you're a team of destiny.
Yeah, I mean, the snuck through is certainly the right cause. If we're going to talk about luck, we've got to talk about the Steve Osman goal. That's the second goal of the night, I believe.
I believe so, yes.
And it's a shot on net. It's deflected, and there's people, bodies around the crease, and it's easy for the officials to be distracted. But we could see right in front of us that puck definitely went up into the netting, and it's unfortunate for Invicta. But as we said on commentary, you play to the whistle. You're taught that at any level of any sport, and Invicta switched off, and they allowed Ozzy to walk into the high slot, and he got a goal. And yes, it's unfortunate for Invicta, but as you say, you lose sympathy for them, but they don't play to the whistle, and they get punished for that.
Maybe while some of the younger players, younger minds were het up and not making the best decisions all game long, particularly in that second period, 2 veteran guys came to the forefront. Loris Taylor, we had a gut feeling that he might be big come playoff time. He was great, particularly for the first goal where he won the puck battle, created the goal all on his own for Hein Pitcher. And then Steve Osman, he was just great all night. He's been cranking it up since the turn of the year, and he scored some big goals tonight.
Yeah, that's probably his best performance in a Pitbulls jersey this season for Steve Osman, and you could probably say the same for Loris Taylor. He's also had some good games. I think he's enjoyed playing Invicta, to be fair. But yeah, his work for that first goal, Loris Taylor feeding Hein Pitcher out in front after just good work on the forecheck and keeping good body position on the puck. And yeah, Osman, he obviously got the assist on the third after scoring the second, and I think he scored another one in the third period as well. Yeah, he definitely did. Yeah, he was phenomenal tonight, and exactly what you want from your leadership team. Joe Morris was steady as ever on the back end as well. Those are your captain and your 2 alternates, and you can't ask for anything more.
And you talk about being clutch at big times. So often this year we've talked about maybe the disappointment of the Pitbulls power play when they needed it to come good. When it was the game, everything was on the line. It did come good, and that's a big confidence boost.
Yeah, and even bigger because it was a fairly well-tempered game, and you know, you play Invicta last night and you get maybe 7 or 8 chances on the power play. Tonight you get 3 or 4 and you score twice. That's huge. And I feel like we've said this a few times when they've had a good game on the power play. If they can build on that, and you know, you're going to get power play chances in every game at this level. It's just natural in how the game goes. You're going to be a danger to any team in the playoffs. So you go to finals weekend and you've got hopefully two lots of 60 minutes in front of you to cause some upsets, possibly.
Hopefully so. Let's just temper our enthusiasm for the moment, because we've got to talk about, and we will get enthusiasm back, so we're going to the bar in a moment, but we have to talk about slow starts once more, and it is a bit of a broken record theme. We've spoken about it all year. Jamie Elson has spoken about it all year. I wasn't in Invicta last night, but you mentioned it was a slow start last night. Being 3 goals down and giving away your aggregate lead tonight is certainly not what Jamie Elson had planned. For all the feel-good, and there is a lot of feel-good, is it the Raiders? Is it, Streatham? Is it Chelmsford? You play a period like that first period and you're out of the playoffs.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you're playing against. Invicta, as you say, they turn up with 10 skaters here and they they scored 3 in that period unanswered, and any team would have done that. It was a very poor start, too many defensive giveaways, and when they got in the offensive zone, there wasn't enough chances being created. I think of one good chance that Ollie shown that forced a good save from Ben Clements, but apart from that, the first period was one of the worst that the Pitbulls have produced this season in front of their own fans.
This place was electric tonight. You know, we feels like leaving an old friend now. We've got to leave it for 3-4 months. We'll be back next season, hopefully. But just the journey we've been on, and I suppose you came to the game tonight, Lewis, and as Bristol fans, we didn't want it to be this close. You kind of knew it was going to be this close, and was probably the end to the season, at least here at the Pound, that maybe we needed. Just the place full of electricity, full of tension, and in the end, the roof comes off. A great end to a great season.
Yeah, I mean, how often have the Pitbulls done things the easy way on home ice this season? Nowhere near enough. I mean, I think you think back to that Chelmsford game where they're 6-3 down and they pull the best period of their season out from nowhere and win, and even games against MK where they've teams that they should be beating and should be beating comfortably, they've let them hang around in games. I mean, that MK game last week where you're 3-0 up after the first and then you go into the second intermission at 3-2. It's the Pitbulls just have a habit of not just doing things the easy way, and that might come back to bite them when you play a team like Streatham and you can't give away goals like they have done tonight. But tonight, you know, you haven't won the game, you've won the tie, and you can enjoy it for the evening. You've got Monday off and just have a couple of beers and enjoy your night.
Absolutely. Lewis, you were down there on the ice at the end, and it felt celebratory. It also felt a little emotional. We know about Richie Hargreaves, much more to be said about that, but he's still got another weekend to play next weekend. But you know, whether this team was going up a league or not, normally the case, particularly in ice hockey, British ice hockey, you never get the same team coming back twice. There's always a turnover of players. This team will always be special because it was the first team. It was the first team that came into this building back to Bristol, and they've put on a show all year, and this was the last time together on home ice. It felt pretty emotional down there.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously with the league announcement having been made, I feel like some players are predicting their future already where it's not going to be with the Pitbulls next season. And obviously that's a tough scenario for morale, but it feels like the team have really gathered troops and worked well together. And obviously we've seen them put up some decent performances in recent weeks. And yeah, just a good night to be a Pitbulls fan. And you see quite a few fans are on the ice after the game as well as not just like team players and staff. It's just a really good atmosphere amongst the team and a good rapport they've built with these fans.
Just finally, any plans for next weekend?
I have to check my diary. I think I might have a trip to Milton Keynes planned.
I might have to ask for a pass from the wife. Yeah, see you in Milton Keynes is the message. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage on FTA Sport this season. A few interviews to grab now. Look out for those during the week. But for Lewis and myself, we'll see you in Milton Keynes.